Bogotá, capital de Colombia, diciembre de 1981. Unos problemas con mi pasaporte me retienen unos 12 días más en esta alta ciudad de escaso aire. Tuve así oportunidad de conocer a un tipo muy particular y la tarea que él desarrolla en la calle.
All my life, I've been interested in children, especially in abandoned children. Now that I've reached 55 years of age and I have time to work as I wish, with the remainder of my life, I wish to work full-time helping such children. I care for their health, but I'm not a doctor, and I believe it's a form of offering affection, like a papa. So in the street, everyone calls me Papa, Papa Gringo.
Para casi un cuarto siglo fue director para sociedades de los médicos, como el Colegio Americano de Medicina Preventiva. En los Estados Unidos tengo dos hijos propios. Vivette, que tiene 21 años, y Brigham, mi hijo, que tiene 18 años, y también un otro hijo adoptivo, Roberto, que tiene 18 años también como mi hijo propio. Y aquí en Bogotá tengo 5,000 hijos adoptivos, los gamines.
The gamins are children who have abandoned their homes to live in the street because they believe that life in the street is better than life in the homes they left. All of them tell me the same story. Their parents beat them. What they miss more than food, more than things money buys, is affection. They miss love. Some, of course, are orphans or abandoned, but the majority of Colombian gamins are not orphans, nor are they abandoned. They're children who have abandoned their homes to look for a better life. Life in the street is a terrible life, a dangerous life, where again they have nothing. They have their liberty, but that's all they have.
A mí no me falta nada en la casa, sino que mi abuelita me casca cada ratico y como mi mami no me da en la casa, entonces mi abuelita me agarra y me casca como me tiene bronca. Por algo sería que me fui.
¿Qué sería?
Pegaba mucho, porque me pegaban mucho en la casa. Cuando yo era chiquita, una señora me recogió y me da, no sé, dónde vive. Si donde viviera me iba para la casa. No tengo mamá, soy sola, vivo sola. Voy a algunos barrios a conseguir trabajo y no me dan.
I know more than 50 countries of the world on 4 continents. In Europe, North Africa, the Soviet Union, and of course Latin America. And I understand in all these world parts the problem of children who are obliged to live, sleep, and survive in the street, especially in the third world. Today, this problem is at its worst here in Bogota. So I've chosen to live here to offer help to the Bogota Gamins. In the first months, I had some problems. It was difficult. This work is something new in this country, and the police, seeing a gringo with a shoulder bag, always in the street among gamins and also with thieves and muggers, prostitutes, these police believe I might be a drug trafficker. But now I know most of the police, and I have far fewer problems.
El trabajo mío es ilustrar botas. El momento que da oportunidad de robar, robo. Sí, y si en una ocasión pues se roba, otra vez no se roba, sí, otra vez aguanta hambre.
There are three reasons they steal. In the first place, of course, they have to steal for survival. The second reason is they steal almost as a sport. The gamins have no opportunity to play like other children, so you can understand that at times they steal for sport. And the third thing, many tell me that they have to steal to pay extortion to the police. This, to me, is the ugliest thing in the world. The gamins have a number of words for the police. And of course, none of these words are affectionate.
Esos tombos malos y uno roba, malos y pide. Tombos son montadores pero con los chinches. Son castalias que son regaladas por un dulce de a peso. Se la montan a uno, mucho, montarla. Esos tombos no merecen sino que quiten a esos tombos y pongan a otros nuevos.
Photography is one way to inform. It's an excellent way to show problems. So I use this art form for this purpose. Also, whenever I photograph the gamins, I always give them copies. They like this a lot. For many, it's the first time they've ever seen their own photo. Besides, it's one more way of showing them their humanity.
Aquí donde estamos, en este sitio, es muy... hay peladitas también, igual, más pequeñas, se venden por eso, pero no, yo no me puedo vender, porque yo soy una niña, yo soy muy chiquita. Pues yo sé... Yo en el mundo, cuando sea grande quiero ser doctor, usar mecha y a lo bien, pasarla a lo bien, por ahí ser doctor
¿Qué es lo que te gustaría hacer cuando sea grande?
Pues por ahí a trabajar.
¿De qué?
Trabajar.
¿De qué cosas?
Por ahí de carros. O doctor.
¿De qué?
Doctor.
This work began as a dream, my dream. In the beginning years, one has to make his own dream real, with his own time, money, and energy. And then after a year or two, when a substantial, valid program develops, then it's possible to seek help. Now, 2 years have passed. And clearly, this is a valid program. And now I can ask individuals and other foundations to help. But not governments, neither the Colombian nor the United States government. When governments pay for a program, they become the program's owners. And in no country in the world do governments understand how to manage a program such as this. So I prefer to remain independent of all governments. In my entire life, I had never been accustomed to cold showers. But now, sure, no problem. I have to live cheaply because what little money I have is for the program. So I have to have a small, inexpensive apartment. I never have any idea what I'll encounter when I leave my home to work in the street. In any ordinary day, I'll run into 100, 200, 300 gamins and other street people, sometimes just to exchange greetings, other times to treat various wounds, sores, cuts, infections, etc. But other days, infected knife wounds, gunshot wounds, and other more serious problems. In the first year, I was alone, just Papa Gringo, alone in the street. And then with great good luck, this year, I found an Irishman named Patrick Colgan. And he told me that he wanted to work with me in this program. Patrick has a lot of experience for this purpose. He was a poor kid in Dublin, a tough little street fighter. And later, he moved to the United States, and there he worked with poor street kids in San Francisco. So his experience is perfect for this work here in Bogota. And the Gamins love him. Now he's well known in the street as Papa Tricio.
Yo trabajaba para Papa Gringo para más o menos 10 meses. Okay? Yo quiero trabajar para un otro año y medio con él aquí en la calle, en Bogotá. Yo le gusta mucho esta obra. Pero yo tengo 4 hijos propios en mi casa, pero no es posible para mí trabajar todos los días, solamente medio día. A las 12 o una en la tarde yo buscar para el Papa Gringo en la selva, nombre para esta parte de Bogotá. Yo trabajar gratis, pero mi esposa es una ingeniera eléctrica. Ella trabajar en un contrato aquí en Bogotá. Él ayudarme compró medicina simple, ¿ok? Para mi bolsa. Agua oxigenada, mertiolate, sopacol, varias cosas, ¿ok? Medicina es muy simple, no es caro, es barato, ¿ok?
In recent months, we've attracted a number of young North American exchange students participating in exchange programs here in Bogota. And currently we have 5 students, 4 young men and 1 young woman working with us in the street. We also have another very interesting helper, our only Colombian to date, Pedro Hernandez. Pedro is a very poor man who lives in the city's most dangerous barrio, Cartucho. Pedro has a family, wife, 2 sons. And they're a very poor family, but Pedro has a lot of first aid experience, and he's the first and to date the only Colombian helper in this program. I try never to have favorites among the gamins, but it's impossible. My favorites always are those with the most serious problems. For example, the little bobitos, the mentally retarded, like little Polo, for example. Polo begs for coins on Monserrate. He lives with his grandmother, but he's not only mentally retarded, he's a chunco. By that I mean he's crippled, probably by polio. And Polo is one of my favorites. And there are others, like Arturo. Arturo is about 8 years old. He's a very sweet child, a gamin who has lived nearly half his life in the street.
Sí, claro, claro. ¿Está bien?
Vicente also was a bobito, and also very sweet. One day, Vicente was playing in the street when a 1 peso coin fell into the gutter. Vicente dashed to retrieve it, and an urban bus killed him. In 2 years here, I've lost 16 of my adopted sons. Viejito, for example, killed in a street fight when another gamin, his own age, 14, stabbed him in the heart. It's very important that we bury them like human children, because if no one claims the body of a gamin, the morgue will dump him in a plastic bag and toss him with other bodies into a common pit like garbage, like a street dog. So it's important that the other gamins see their little companion buried like a human child, because if he is a human child, then the others are also human and not just street dogs.
Nosotros nos sentimos mal en la calle, necesitamos una ayuda, un apoyo para nosotros los gamines. Los agentes nos pegan mucho, nos tratan muy mal. Queremos que nos ayuden para progresar, unos internados donde nos dejen ver libres, donde nos dejen libres, que podamos salir y volver, que nuestras madres están sufriendo por nosotros este diciembre tan triste, no podemos pasar la vida. Cada ratico nos están alejando muy mal, nos pegan de todo.
I have no ultimate solutions. This problem goes back more than a century, and it isn't possible to solve it in a year, or 2 years, or 5. Every day, many people see this work. They see what we do in the street. I believe that some of those who see this must think a little bit. And possibly this is a way to create more interest. And then with time, I hope that they and others may want to help the gamins. Because the gamins are my adopted children, but the gamins are Colombian, and properly the children of all Colombians. When everyone takes an interest in finding solutions, it's possible. We have to wait for more interest on the part of more people, the wealthy, the powerful, governments, everyone in the country. But it is possible.